Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live, brought to you by PrizePicks. Sign up for PrizePicks today with that promo code Leading Off. Make sure you use that promo code when you do. It's me, Joey P. Joe Pizzavia. That, of course, is the Welsh, and it's you, the Peanuts, the Cracker Jacks. If you're watching us live, welcome, especially for the first time. I love the first time Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. It's a great moment. Everybody gets super excited. Welsh, we've got a great question from the gallery right out of the bat. This is from Zach Rodkowitz, the Rodkowitzes of Rochester, New York. Who are some more established pitchers with upside I'd be able to trade Mitch Keller for? Zach, I don't want to trade Mitch Keller. What do you think, Welsh? Do you think Mitch Keller can be dealt for a established, struggling pitcher? Because I don't think you want to deal him for a guy like Manoah. I don't know if you want to deal him for an older guy like a Scherzer or somebody like that. To me, you're riding the wave of Mitch Keller. What do you think?
Ooh, Manoah is a really good one. That's actually a really good of like the struggly, higher name type of players.
Putting it lightly.
I think I kind of might agree with you on that. I'm not sure that I'm trading him even for Manoah, even though, if it bounces back, it would be great. I think you could look at Mitch Keller. Maybe if you are fearful it's going to break down, maybe you could look at some of the Mariners guys. Like, George Kirby, the strikeouts haven't been there. I had kind of designated him as a guy to look at trading at his high recently because the strikeouts weren't there. But he's also just a great baseline player. So maybe you could look at him, again, a Logan Gilbert in there. I just don't know if I'm jumping in the pool. I'm looking at names right now.
Well,
I don't know if I would want to jump
on Sunday in our big Mitch Keller conversation. This was before the latest giant Mitch Keller strikeout extravaganza. He was basically saying, hey, the same thing I do, which is you drafted Mitch Keller late, you got a value. I understand the thought process of like, I'm a little concerned, but at some point maybe it falls off. But I think when you're looking at a player like Mitch Keller, Zach, this is a player that you've struck gold on. I don't think he carries enough weight to really bring you back a big time Zach Wheeler arm or something like that, or guys. You're not going to get Zach Gallen. You're not going to get anybody named Zach, basically Zach. So if you were looking for another Zach, you're not going to get him. I'm just riding the Mitch Keller wave till it crashes into the.
I'd also say that most likely you're not going to trade a pitcher for a pitcher in leagues. Like rarely does that happen. Like why are you like the matchup doesn't really fit. So you're more likely to trade Mitch Keller to get another position. So that's how those trades will end up looking.
Yeah, but you're not like getting Julio for Mitch Keller. You know what I mean? That's not happening either.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the worst. These type of guys, because he's like a late bloomer. These are the type of guys that the trade value never returns what they're putting for you on your fantasy team. So I don't know how to justify it unless someone is really willing to pay up. I don't know. Maybe you could get like Corbin Carroll, or you can get one of those guys that steals bases that's struggling a little bit right now. You could go. By the way, if you ever watch that series, Zach Morris is the worst or whatever.
Oh, Zach Morris is trash.
It's trash. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's one of.
Maybe get Zach Morris for him. Maybe a Scrooge to be named later. There you go. By the way, Eric in the chat trolling me. Max Muncy says hello. Eric, get out. Just get out of the chat. This is what happens like when your dog eats a pillow or something in your house. You're like, just get out.
I wish we had like the clip just ready to play, and we could do it in like black and white, where it's Joe's like, I think Max Muncy will be bad. Clack, Homer, all the homers and follow after. That'd be a great video.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Hey, look, man. Sometimes you take it
whatever.
Sometimes you eat the bear. Sometimes the bear, he eats you. Let's get to some of the headlines from yesterday's baseball game. Jack Flaherty. Is Jack back? 10 strikeouts for Jack Flaherty. For the Cardinals beating up on the Brewers 18-1. So this was an absolute just murder fest here. Peralta was not good, so that was no bueno. But I told you yesterday, do the different pitcher combinations. So if you have Peralta, hopefully you had more than one. Yesterday was a multi-entry kind of day in DFS, but 17 swings and misses on the 10 strikeouts. That was a high. His ERA is still above 5. Yeah. Are you buying the renaissance of Jack Flaherty, Welsh? Because last night was pretty convincing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the biggest buy on Jack Flaherty, but it's pretty impressive. The guy had 21 walks in April. He's down to 8 right now, and that was through 6 starts. He's through 3 starts right here. So, it's cut down a little bit. Strikeouts have been there. He's a little bit more effective. I feel like there's more confidence with all this crazy Wilson Contreras thing that's going on.
Right. Who is now back and catching, by the way, everybody, in case you missed that.
Yeah, he caught that game. Yeah, he caught that game. He also, Jack Flaherty has had a little bit of little whiny at times, and he was very kind of like blaming everybody else. And I don't know if you saw like a couple weeks back, he's like, reporters don't talk to me about like the walks and stuff and whatever. And then finally, this last like couple days, he's taken some ownership of the issues with Contreras and blaming himself instead of, blaming literally everybody else. So maybe he's just settling in and feeling a little bit more comfortable. I still think he's just overall. Like, he's better than he was, so you can get a higher return. Like, you could have the return you would have got for what you traded for him for a couple weeks ago looks a lot better now, but I don't know how much higher it goes. I think he can get into the low 4 ERA range, and he could strike out 6 or 7 on a night, but he's going to walk, he's going to give up earned runs. So I'm kind of,
it's just funny because Flaherty is one of these guys that looked like he was an emerging ace in fantasy a couple years ago. And injuries and inconsistencies really just kind of fell off the map for him. And here's one. You got to love this. Dylan Love wants us to grade the trade. Here you go. You got to love when everyone does this after the fact. You got to do this before, because nobody's ever happy when they ask us to do this. But we'll do it anyway, Dylan, because we love you and your last name is Love. Hey, guys, I traded away Freddie Peralta and Jared Kelenic and received Jacob deGrom. What do you guys think? Well, I think you gave up 2 players for 1 player that never plays. So there you go. So I don't like it. So,
well, I mean, Freddie Peralta got lit up yesterday. Jared Kelenic is cooling off. I think this is a
nice play.
I think this is a calculated, fun trade. You put on a ton of risk, though, because Jacob deGrom's not back, and they're like, yeah, we think he'll be back in like 2 or 3 weeks. So there's a ton of sort of risk, but like, you have the best upside here. I think Freddie Peralta's coming back to earth. Jared Kelenic kind of coming back to earth. So like, if deGrom is out there, it's a freaking steal. It's a freaking steal. But the question and the problem has been his health this whole year. So I don't know. This is like, if you're putting like a grade to it, I would probably grade this like a B, and I think Joe probably grades this a D.
D.
Mean.
Yeah, it's a big D. Anyway, speaking of big D, Michael Wacha carried a no-hit into the 8th inning yesterday. Ultimately, just 1 hit, ended up giving up against the Royals. So 11 strikeouts from Michael Wacha, if you had that on your bingo card. I love these games. I feel like last night was one of those nights in baseball where we all get up the next day and go, what the hell did I just see? And this happens, I would say, once every 7 to 10 days. We get one of these nights,
like blackout drunk. You're just like, what do we do?
It is. It's like everybody got roofied. The next thing you know, wake up, and Joey Meneses went 4 for 5 with 3 doubles. So there you go. And CJ Abrams continues to kill the Mets, as the entire Washington Nationals continue to. Shohei Ohtani picked up his 5th victory, but allowed 5 runs on 4 hits. So not the best outing. Ohtani struggling just a tad lately.
Only 5 Ks. Only 5 Ks.
Yeah, only 5
couldn't get our props.
Now, speaking of winners, by the way, and victorious things, we have one. So here you go. Boom. This is from our April giveaway. We said we're going to give a premium subscription of FantasyPros for 1 year. So it takes you through baseball season, takes you through NFL draft season, and then again next year through MLB draft season yet again. The winner there is Jeff Thomas. So Jeff, congratulations. You're the big winner. Hit us up at mailbag@FantasyPros. Again, mailbag@FantasyPros.com. That's the email address, and we will get you all set up. Again, Jeff Thomas, congrats. And if you want to enter to win the free premium giveaway, just drop a comment below, be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros MLB on YouTube, and again, comment on this video or any video that you like, and it could be you in May. So there you go, giving away free stuff.
Nice.
Well,
his comment was making me laugh too, because it almost was, it seemed like one of those bots at first, because it was like, I think you guys are too popular. And I was like, what? And then it was, because people keep swooping up the guys that we give advice on. So
every time I try and follow your advice, he said, someone in my league has already been in it. All right. So there you go. You got to be a little quicker. So that's why you watch us live. You know, if you can, this is when you listen to the podcast or you watch back on YouTube, you miss all the fun. All right, let's do the rookie lookie for the day. Brenton Doyle went 3 for 4 with a pair of home runs, 3 ribbies. Do we care?
I already forgot about the rookie lookie. You actually you confused me there for a minute, and you scared me on it. Brenton Doyle, I think we should be. I was very dismissive of Brenton Doyle.
You were
always higher Doyle rules, by the way. His age to level was always kind of a discrepancy, which was something that I was a little bit dismissive of. But listen, He can steal. He's got 6 stolen bases so
It's
far this
Colorado,
year.
dude.
In Colorado, 4 homers is great, but would point out his hard hit numbers are nothing crazy impressive. His strikeout rate is over 30%, which I don't love. But his XBA is pretty stable right now. He's got a gig. It's the most hitter friendly place that you could probably imagine. And it's really the stolen bases that are kind of getting me going. And he's playing awesome defense. So for the defense alone, that's going to keep him on the field, and for him to, I don't know, put out like a 5-tool ability. Yeah, I think we should pay attention to him in probably deeper 12-team leagues. 10-team leagues, I mean, you could probably stream lots of guys. I'm probably not interested, but 12-team, sure, 5 outfielder, think you can find a spot.
All right, so a lot of people in the chat asking about Taj Bradley, and it looks like he's under consideration, basically. So Taj Bradley and Cooper Criswell, who I'm pretty sure, I mean, if you were named Cooper Criswell, I'm pretty sure you have a country club membership. Like, I think that's just part of your deal.
Cooper Criswell, thank you very much.
Table
for Cooper Criswell,
yes,
please.
yes, of course. I have the Niçoise salad, please. Yes, and a nice dry Chardonnay. But look, I don't know if it's going to be Taj Bradley or not. Nobody knows quite yet. But if he's floating around the waiver wire, grab him now. Like, this is what you got to do.
I think you should have already done that. I think, regardless of like,
I know
you
should
already
have.
go do that.
You shouldn't trade away players that play for Jacob deGrom either. But people
hit pause and go do it right now, and then come back.
There you go. Pause it up. Well, you can do both. I mean, we can multitask. You can listen to the show at the same time you're making moves on the apps or whatever you're doing.
That's true.
Or Welsh, if you were smart, and you had already my playbook, you could be doing this stuff and you could be adding these things. Look at that. The perfect segue. If you haven't had my playbook already, again, the lineup assistant, the waiver assistant, the trade analyzer, everything's there for you. It's free to get it. Download it. That way you can manage all your teams. You can set your lineups too. Different platforms, different leagues, doesn't matter. You can set all your lineups from one spot on my playbook. And if you're premium, you get all kinds of other bells and whistles too. They're amazing. X-rays for Manny Machado's left hand came back negative, so that's good. After getting hit by a pitch yesterday. More injury news. Cody Bellinger pulled from the Astros game. He went for a ball and he came up a little lame.
Yeah, it was an amazing,
he paid for it,
catch.
Though.
Yeah, it came right down on his ankle. So
there we go. We'll see what that means. So prayers for Cody Bellinger. CJ Cron went on the 10-day IL with the back spasms we mentioned yesterday, and also mentioned yesterday, Anthony Rendon, wouldn't you know it, did end up on the IL after all. Retroactive with a left groin strain. So just, yeah. Corey Seager is going to be back in the next couple of days, so that's good news. And Pete Fairbanks was back yesterday. So there you go. Good news. Here we go. 3 up, 3 down, or otherwise known as the Max Muncy segment of the show. 3 for 5, 2 homers, 3 RBIs for Max Muncy. They won in extras yesterday. Cal Raleigh.
Wait. Did you know? What? Did you know? I have a little did you know segment. Did Joe know that Max Muncy leads the league in homers?
Yes, I did actually know that.
Oh, you did know that. Oh, I'm sure
you
did. I'm sure lots of people told you.
I knew anyway. But Wonky here saying Cooper Criswell got lost on his way to lacrosse practice. 100% he plays lacrosse without a doubt. And I don't think that it's not a negative thing on the lacrosse. I'm just saying Cooper Criswell plays lacrosse. Did you see that poster the other night that said, I forget what crowd it was, where it said Mookie Betts eats corn the long way?
Yeah, I did see that. There's something I really do love, like absurd signs. Like those are probably the best. Yeah,
I love the ones that are more ethereal and bizarre, and you have to stop and think for a second.
Are signs going away, though?
There used to be somebody a couple years ago. Do you remember this? I think it was at the Mets games that had like weird signs like that all the time. Like, I don't know. It was like Jeff McNeil, all his clothes are dry clean only, or things like that. It was just really funny.
I feel like people get it in their system, but are signs going away? Like wrestling still has the stranglehold. I feel like 80% of signs in sports.
You go back and watch an old school Attitude Era, you can't see a person. It's all signs. Now, I mean, I've been to so much wrestling in the last 10 years, 5 years.
But I'm saying, like, in general, like signs are like wrestling is the big one. Those are going away. I don't see, there's not a big sign thing going on in sports. By the way, thank God that can go the way with the wave. We can, it's
annoying because if you're sitting behind that person, you can't see. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah. You should be able to
even
punch
if it's
that
a funny
person.
sign.
Should
you be able to punch Aaron Judge, who had another 2 home runs for the second time in 3 days? Apparently, everyone's looking at the side. Get that side eye. We should have put that together. That's on us. I just realized it now. The side eye meme for Aaron Judge. Somebody in our social media. Where's Ryan? Wonky, get Ryan on the phone right now. Get him tweeting something about Aaron Judge with the side eye. That is the perfect TikTok to make right now. So what do you make out of this? I mean, sign stealing a piece of baseball that we all understand and know. Obviously, it was getting sent to him. So do you think there's going to be trouble in paradise here with Aaron Judge and the Yanks?
Maybe this is a hot take. Like, I don't care. I
don't
so
care
don't
either.
There's so much, but there is so much care on this. Like, so much so, Wonky was like, you have to talk about this. Like, you have to talk about this in our chat we all have. But like, I don't care that he was doing this. Like, to be honest with you, I'm surprised more players aren't like looking back at the catcher and stuff. That feels very unwritten rule. They're not having they're not like that JUCO team that had the devices inside the helmets and stuff. I don't know if they figured I've always been like this. If they figure something out and they want to share the information, I just don't know what the problem with that is, especially if they figure it out, not like with cameras and trash can. I guess trash cans.
Look, as long as you're not using the digital devices, and that's the thing. And people got so mad about the Astros, and all I kept saying was, well, they got so mad because they found a better way to do it than anybody else. That wasn't necessarily like the digital, like they figured it out, and then they, bang the trash can or something instead of, there was a lot of smoke around the whole Yankees thing with the iPhones and the iWatches, whatever the hell it was. A lot of things going on there. All the Apple Watch stuff.
It was weird.
And then all kind of disappeared.
I will admit, it was weird though that like we've never seen this before, and then all of a sudden in this game, he's just everything. He's just like, whoop, whoop.
Like they want us to do side eye at each other. By the way, this is
was I going the wrong direction?
So well, I was going in the wrong direction. There you go.
I think I was.
All right, so go the way you were.
Yeah, this is right. This is right. So we're looking at each other.
I don't know which way. It's very difficult because the camera's reversal. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we were going the right way.
That's all right. Let's move on here. Now, usually we do 3 downs, but this down was so bad, he's going to get the standalone down. Okay. This is embarrassing. And yesterday I thought he was a value because I smelled runs in that game and I was right for Seattle. Oh my God. If you had Seattle yesterday, you crush, right? Colton Wong went 0 for 5 last night for the Mariners. 0 for 5. They scored 10 runs and he went 0 for 5. And they brought in a position player to pitch and he got up with the bases loaded. And I watched this at bat and I'm like, all right, he's 0 for 4. He's going to get a hit here against a position player. And he flies out to right field. It was embarrassing. You can't get a hit off of the position player pitching.
He's not good. Like, anytime Colton Wong's out there, I'm like, no, unfortunately, he's no good at all.
Yeah, you can cut him. I don't know, man.
For anybody.
People are saying he's gonna that Aaron Judge is gonna get drilled today. No, he's not. Good. Maybe if it was 1967, he'd get drilled, but not in modern day. No way. I don't think he does.
I bet you. I wouldn't be shocked if he does, but
I don't think he gets drilled. Somebody. I mean, I wouldn't drill Aaron Judge. He's enormous. Why would you hit that guy?
Oh, they're gonna drill DJ LeMahieu or Anthony Volpe.
That's right. Yeah, hit Anthony Volpe and let him.
Volpe might know a guy. He might know a guy though. So
maybe his uncle comes over. I know a guy. His name is Welsh. He's really good at picking prizes on PrizePicks. Enter right now with the promo code leading off. Use that code when you sign up at PrizePicks today. Download the app or go to prizepicks.com and you get a 100% deposit match up to $100. All right, Welsh, what do you got for the prize picking on the Tuesday?
Yesterday was okay. The Alonso didn't work out. The other two did. George Kirby was free yesterday. Just want to point to everybody. It was absolutely free. It was ridiculous. That's why I picked him out. Today, I've talked about this before. Today, I am officially on the haters ball for PrizePicks. I am doing a haters picks today, and it is all unders. And I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to play it out because I really like them just in general. So this is the haters prize pick of the day. All unders. We are hating on guys to have any offense. And I have attacked hits plus runs plus RBI because they're giving us some gifts here. So these are all 1.5. So if they don't get 2 between a hit, a run, and RBI, you cash. First up on the haters picks, Carlos Santana, 1.5 hits, run, RBI. Yes, thank you. I think he's accomplished this once in the last 5 games. Number 2, Juan Yepez, hits, runs, RBI. Under 1.5. I don't think he's done this in the last 4 or 5. And Matt Vierling, hits, run, RBI, 1.5. This is saying all those guys have to get 2 between a run, an RBI, and a hit. I do not believe that's going to happen, and I am going up against them. Carlos Santana, Juan Yepez, Vierling, all under. It's the haters prize pick for the day.
Haters.
I really hope it cashes.
Haters gonna hate.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna shake. By the way, we're getting closer and closer to the Taylor Swift concert here in my house, and I just found out about something today that I did not know existed, but apparently people are doing called Taylorgating. Have you heard about this? Where they're
Nope.
going ahead of the concert and they're having some fun. The ladies are out there having some fun in the
What
parking
kind of
lots.
fun, Joe?
Taylorgating. I don't know. But
What kind of
if I
parking lot
wasn't,
fun?
I don't know, but if I wasn't going with my kids, it sounds like a good time. I'll go there. Everyone's, pre-showing it up, drinking margaritas, I think having a good time. Sounds like fun. I can't do that. I'm taking
I
my
don't do a
kids,
lot
but
of
still.
concerts, and I haven't done a concert in a long time, but I think back to one of my very first concerts ever was Rage Against the Machine, and Gangstar opened up for them. And if you can think of all of that, and I just sit here when you tell me about that, and I wonder what the similarities to a Rage Against the Machine Gangstar concert is to Taylor Swift. I wonder if there are any similarities, Joe.
Wait, the
The
similarities between both.
crowd, the experience, maybe if you bump into someone. I remember I bumped into someone. I was like, "Oh, hey, sorry," and the guy was like mad that I apologized. Like, do you think that happens to Taylor Swift? They're like, "Oh, don't
uh,
apologize."
I don't know. I think it's gonna be wild. I was at a Pink concert a couple years ago. She's
Yeah,
terrific. But
sure.
the crazy part about that one was I was next to I was there with my daughters, and then next to me were two, middle-aged women who were out there. They were out. They were out that night. Okay. They were out
Ah,
there to see Pink. And the opening act was this Julia Michaels woman. And she was not great. And all she was doing was talking about her feelings and singing these songs that were very millennial-ish. And these two women next to me were hilarious and not having it. They were
mm.
booing and screaming for her to get off the stage and just let Pink come on because they were there for Pink, not for you, you 20-year-old thin blonde woman singing. No, not there for her. They were there for Pink, singing about feelings and problems in real life stuff. And it was hysterical. They were
Who did you have
amazing.
to rob or bribe to get those tickets? By the way,
Well, they're expensive. What, the Taylor Swift ones?
yeah. How
I
did you get
actually
them?
bought them live on air during one of our live streams at Fantasy Pros.
Oh, really?
Because I was there at 10 o'clock in the morning, like everybody else, waiting for we was in that weird thing. And I knew as soon as the live stream started, of course, it was come back on. And God bless Andrew Erickson. I told my kids, you better thank Andrew Erickson because he covered for me. I literally said, all right, Andrew, I'm going to go. And then I, finally, it was like playing whack-a-mole. It was the most nerve-wracking 5 minutes of my life because every time you clicked on a seat, they would disappear because all the bots were in there. Obviously, there were some problems, but I got him. Father of the year. Let's
Father
move
of the
on.
year, man.
Prize
Good for
picks.
you.
Christian Javier, 7.5 strikeouts. I'm going to go the under on this one. It's a big number. Justin
Ooh,
Steele,
haters.
4. I'm going to go over on this one because it's such a low number. And Paul Goldschmidt, who is, spoiler, going to get mentioned later on, also in on. Now, yesterday, the parlay that I put together, again, if you bet it separately, you still kind of were pushed. Actually, you probably came out positive if you bet because 2 out of 3 actually hit. But I will say this. If you cashed out there during that wacky comeback of Minnesota, if you hung into that Minnesota game and you're watching live, and this is one of those things you can do if you put a game that's in the late slate, if you win the first 2, you can kind of wash. You can cash out if you're feeling good about it. You could wait. So I was waiting. It was going down, and then it started to go up again. I just cashed out. I was like, okay, let me get out on a high note before. I don't want to leave this to chance. If you did that, you still made out pretty good yesterday. Today, I want to put together, get ready for it. I know it's Luis Castillo. I think after all those runs last night, I think Boston responds a little bit. I'm going to go Red Sox on the money line, plus 138, getting a huge number on this. I know it's against Castillo, but I was pretty good with these upsets. Pretty good yesterday with the upset, too. Manoah has been owning the Yankees his whole career. We went Oppo yesterday. St. Louis Cardinals, again with Montgomery. It's a heavy minus. Put this along with the parlay and the Texas Rangers and Dane Dunning against Schuster and the Braves, minus 106. I love that one today on separate. So I would go Red Sox separately, Rangers separately. Don't bet St. Louis because the juice is too much. If you put the Red Sox, Cards, and Rangers all together, 3-leg parlay, you get 6-1. Boom, you put $10 on that, you win 60. It's a good day. You take the family out for, I don't know, for Ritas and pizza or something like that. Justin Verlander, 6.5 Ks, going the under against Tampa. Luis Castillo, 4.5 is a very small number. I'm going to go the over. You're getting heavy juice, but that's okay. And I'm looking for a big game out of Kershaw tonight, 7.5 Ks, minus 130. He has been absolutely spectacular. If you put those 3 together too, you can get 6-1 on those 3 that I just mentioned. Also, if you want to play them separately or together. Welsh, what do you have for the people here on Tuesday's betting line?
All right, I got 4 plays today that I was cooking up last night. Number one, my favorite, you guys know I love the team total runs through the first 5 innings. My play for the day on that is the Texas Rangers, who you mentioned on the money line, going up against Jared Schuster. Loves to give up 5 runs or more in 5 innings. So I'm going to go with 2.5 runs. It's about minus 110 right now. So 2.5 runs over first 5 Texas Rangers. I also am going to go with the Angels Baltimore over through the first 5, which is at 5. You've got Silseth and Kramer up there. I think both those guys are going to get hit up a bit. I think the Angels are going to, I was tempted to go with the Angels team total runs as well, but I went with the over through the first 5, which is 5 runs. That is minus 130. A couple props. I like Luis Ortiz today going up against the Tigers, 4.5 strikeouts. He didn't hit that in his first start. He was still trying to get acclimated. I think he'll get there. Tigers like to strike out. Minus 110. I'm looking for 5 strikeouts from Luis Ortiz. And I got a hits parlay. Ali Rutschman, Jose Ramirez, get 1 hit. It's essentially even money. It's minus 104. So Adley, Ramirez, 1 hit each. Bam, pair those together. And I placed a little bet down on that one. So those are my 4 plays for the day.
I had an initial instinct this morning when I got up and looking at the slate, and I know, Kershaw, and see people mentioning it in the chat too, that, Kershaw's mom passed away this weekend. It was Mother's Day. Very emotional thing, very close relationship. Sometimes that works to people's favors and there's like a special moment that happens. Sometimes it's just a lot going on. So, I mean, Kershaw is the ultimate professional. So I imagine it's going to be probably more the former than the latter. But speaking of ladders, is this a ladder bet opportunity? See what I did there, where maybe Kershaw has a really special game tonight against a Minnesota team that strikes out a ton.
It's definitely a possibility. I mean,
it's really tempting to me.
I could see doing it. And if you did it, if it's at 7.5, go back to what we talked about before. 7 is where you go and you put your 2 units. You do your 1.5 units or unit on the 8, and then you do a half a unit on 9. And then, or, you can adjust it however you want between 2 units down to a quarter unit. You can play it. I have a hard time with like Kershaw numbers. They don't quite add up to me this year where I want to play them. I'm looking for more of an edge. This actually might be the thing that jumps up to everybody, is kind of that extra edge, that little extra push. So you could do it. I'm not, but I do think you might be able to easily cash your top units, which is like your core. And that kind of buys you the ability to play those others out. So
if you have enough capital, you could do the 6, then like you said, do the 7. I wouldn't go to double digits. I would do 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's the range.
The problem is 6 is going to be juiced to probably like 250 or 300 or something. I'm not
sure what that juice is on
number.
Yeah, but it depends on your capital. It depends on what you're working with here. I like this. Fabby's here, who also said that I think he said earlier something about Pink songs are very relatable to me, and they are. And Fabby joining us here, he used to listen to the podcast, or she, I don't know who Fabby is, a male or a woman, but Fabby is its own entity. Used to listen to the podcast version, now every day here in the chat, because the chat is can't miss. See, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, very popular. You know what else is popular, Welsh? I know Welsh loves it. Big fan of the So Rare. That's right, everybody. Make sure you join today. If you haven't, it's free. FantasyPros.com/collect. You sign up today. You build, you manage your fantasy baseball teams like a pro. And they've got all digital cards from 30 major league teams. You draft your team, you get your packs, you go and enter. And I actually, ironically, you know what I won yesterday? An Aaron Judge card. So there you go.
Really?
It's almost like they knew it was.
I got a bigger thing to mention with So Rare, and
bigger than Aaron Judge.
Bigger than Aaron Judge. You can side your whole way. We'll talk about it all week, but it is available right now. We are starting up a So Rare League, where you guys will be able to play against Joe and myself. There's going to be card prizes, and there's even a couple MLB.TV subscriptions on the line. So go to FantasyPros.com/leading off league. So think about it. We do the betting group. We have the home run calls. This is another one on Sorare where we'll be able to play against each other, and your main lineups also go against the main slate that they've got going on. We'll be playing 2 different types of tournaments. So come and check it out. Leading Off League, FantasyPros.com/leading off league. And you guys can join up, sign up, and we can all play against each other. Boom.
There you go. By the way, here you go. Wonky seeing Pink 3 times this summer. I'm going to be seeing her for the 3rd time, actually. I've seen her twice already. She's great. It's terrific. She sings better upside down than most people do standing up. Unbelievable. DFS picks. Here we go for the day. Kevin Gossman. Here's all right. Let me lay out the plan for everybody. Let me stop. Let me pump the brakes. Okay, so here's today's plan. there's the high range starting pitchers, right, on the main slate. Then there's a couple mid-tier guys that are interesting. And then there's the punt starting pitching and go balls to the wall offense in spots like Colorado, Cincinnati, and a couple other games. Seattle also could potentially, in Boston have some runs there. Well, maybe more the Seattle side again. But here we go. Kevin Gausman at 11K. Verlander 10.8, Castillo at 10.2. Now I prefer the Verlander Gausman. Again, you can kind of swap them out, but if you go down the peg a little bit, you have interesting mid-tier, and there's a ton today of 4 outcome games where good pitchers are going against each other. Like Steele's been very good. You want to go Oppo against Christian Javier, you could do that. There's lots of ways to win tournaments today, or at least kind of move up the chart, but you got to be different today. Zach Wheeler 9.4, another one of those matchups, but I would go on that side of that matchup. Jordan Montgomery at 8.6, very cost effective, but Dane Dunning is just 6.8K. Fascinating play today against, I think, a little bit of a vulnerable Braves team right now with Schuster on the mound. So he's a fascinating one to get you all the offense you want. Mets, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Colorado, all those bats, whatever you want to play there. Values today, Cal Raleigh, Matt McClain, 2K. Again, if you need to go up the board to Verlander or Gausman, Matt McClain's the one to do it. And Francisco Alvarez, 2.4. What'd you think of Matt McClain yesterday? Get to see any highlights of him?
Yep. His double into this first hit was a monster. It was an absolute monster. You could see the speed in full force. Mm-hmm. He looked pretty good. I will point out, though, what's the one thing I said? I said, like, he likes to hit high pitches, and low is what I'm worried about. And he smacked a high slider.
The same thing of the younger sister in League of Their Own. She likes the high ones. That's pretty much Matt.
And he likes the high ones. And he was able to smack a slider up high, and he showed off his speed. And he was hitting 2. I love that he was hitting 2. That's my thing.
Now, I'm staying on brand for my home run call today. I'm going Paul Goldschmidt, who for PrizePicks, I'm also going in the over on the fantasy score. If we look at the board, yesterday added some more home runs. Prime time up to 16. Carlson at 14. The Welsh still on the board at 10. You're like, I feel like you're hanging on there just like on a cliff. Your head's right above the cliff. You're right there, Welsh.
Yep.
But we could see you. And of course, we want to see you joining this contest because we're still giving away fabulous prizes every month. So join today, fantasypros.com/chat. Join our Discord. Premium membership gets you entry into the home run channel. Welsh, where are you going for your home run call today?
I'm going to go with our boy, Adley Rutschman. Worm will be very proud of me. Adley hits in, I believe it's 5 of his last 6 games. He has a homer in there. He does a lot of his damage against righties. 5 of his 6 homers have come against righties. Seth is going to be in there. Don't know how long he can last. I think there's going to be runs scored in this game, and I think Adley is going to get a big fly and get me to 12. Give me a little breathing room on that list.
All right, let's take one more question from the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Anthony XC7. Hey, guys. Lacking at third base and second base, heavy on outfield. Should I try to swap Rooker for Bohm, or will Rooker keep this up? And that's from Anthony. What do you think, Welsh?
So is it you would be dropping Bohm to pick up Rooker?
I think it's either a trade or a waiver, obviously. One of the two.
I don't really want to drop Bohm. I think, there's slump things that are happening here. But
no, he wants to get Bohm, is what I'm saying. He's got Rooker.
Oh, he's heavy on outfield. Oh, yeah,
he's heavy on outfield.
I do think Rooker can continue this to some degree, but it's not
going to be power, but no contact. I'm not buying the contact.
Yeah, and he might have more homers than RBI at the end of the year with how the A's are. So yeah, you can easily make that move. I thought it was like inversed.
That's okay. You get it. You get your passes. I understand how that goes.
Thanks for giving me my pass.
Well, you're welcome. But it's a good betting night tonight. A lot of fun things to put together. Again, we went through the strikeouts. We props. There's a lot of good stuff there. Went through another upset special tonight on top of another parlay special tonight. So money to be made in the wagering, money to be made in the fantasy. Tomorrow, I think we'll have a little bit more time to get to some of the movement. I thought we would get to it today, but we really didn't in terms of the prospect pipeline. I want to get Welsh's thoughts on a couple of those guys for those of you who play in the dynasty leagues or the deeper leagues, because it's fun. And that's what, we got to do. We got to take hardcore lookies at those rookies. So that'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.